My name is Tim. I'm an alcoholic. You know the story. Anyways, I'm going to tell you a few things. Me and Dave have been taking cakes together for 14 years in a row. And told my dad about it last weekend because my birthday was actually the 8th. And I always wait for Dave to take my first cake. And I told my dad I was 15. And he goes, "You're 15? 15 years sober?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "You've never done 15 years ever of anything consecutively other than breathing." Yet here I am. I want to tell you that I am extremely privileged and honored to be here. This meeting was my home group for about 6 or 7 years. And in the time that I was here, I learned a lot. For about the first 3 or 4 years, I didn't really say much because I was listening. I'll go back to the beginning. Everything was great. I was making friends. This little guy growing up in Chino. Man, I had all kinds of friends in the neighborhood. No problems. And then, right about kindergarten, all the problems started. And everything was fine up until then. But the reality was I was already going to see a behavioral therapist in elementary school, all the way through junior high, if there was such a thing. Now I know that it's a fact, you can't flunk junior high. I definitely tested the boundaries there. In high school, by the time I got to high school, sophomore, I was in this thing called SWAS, which meant school within a school. And basically they took all the bad kids and put them in the corner of the high school and gave them a modified day just to keep them away from the rest of the good kids. And I got kicked out of that. I kicked a hole in the wall, and the proctors and all the cops came and they found me with a switchblade with a modified spring on it and yada yada. And I went to YA, and I was 15 years old in YA. And let's just say that wasn't fun. But that was only a sign of things to come. Because when I went in there, I was pretty much an innocent kid who was just had my attention and my efforts were just really pointed in a bad direction. I was hanging out with some bad guys. And by the time I got out, I was like a fucking seasoned criminal. I knew how to hotwire Fords, but I would never steal them because they would die before you got anywhere. I knew how to run. I knew how to run ATM cards. I knew how to do check fraud. I knew how to do yada yada. And the longer I stayed in the game, the deeper I got with the people that I met, and it just progressed. And by the time I was 20, I was strung out. 21, May 16th, 2001, I had a series of 7 heart attacks as a result of cocaine overdose. And I got caught my second night in ICU making out 20 bags in my fucking ICU bed. Because I signed up everybody as my family because I couldn't lose business, damn it. And I got home and I had a bunch of stuff there, and I went to Michigan and I tried to do a geographic. Michigan isn't a good place to do a geographic at the end of the summer when there are tornadoes and such. Any case, I came back, I picked up where I left off, and man, I did everything but stick a needle in my arm. I never caught a DUI, probably should have. But it wasn't what I was doing, it was we all do that shit, but it was what I was putting my family through. And it was what I was doing to myself that I was absolutely unwilling to look at. Because there were definitely some people that pulled my covers and was like, "Hey Tim, you're really fucking up." My uncle pulled me aside and we went and did a Grand Canyon hike, and he's like, "Hey man, you're going down a bad road." "Yeah, you don't know what you're talking about." I got it. Right? That's what alcoholics say. Hey, I got it. I'm cool. I got it. We're good. I could say no. And it got me to a place where I was no longer allowed on my parents' property. And although a really good friend of mine who I grew up with had offered me a couch to sleep on, I had to basically tell him, dude, I can't come to your house, dude. I'm like a fucking virus. And that was the words I used. I'm a virus, dude. Like, you're my bro, but I'll fuck your old lady, dude. I'll steal all your shit. I'll sell your TV when you're fucking gone at work, and you don't want me in your house, dude. That was the person that I had chosen to become at that point. I was a turd with eyeballs. I could not be trusted. I stole a lot. And the problem was I didn't steal from like normal places like Ross and shit. Well, or Home Depot. It was like my dad's $1,200 fucking roto-hammer, brand new Bosch roto-hammer. Or the Ford Taurus down the street from the fucking party. Some innocent lady happened to forget her keys in the trunk. Fucking you name it, I stole it, and I would always trade it or barter, whatever it is we do to get what we need, right? And towards the end there, right before I got sober, I was living in a bush in the park that my brother used to play Little League at. And Saturday mornings I would have to get up. If I had slept, I would have to leave the park early because my family was coming to that park to see my little brother play baseball. And I was cool. I was happy living off of fucking stolen donuts. You know, a quart of milk a day and stolen donuts. That was, that could sustain me a couple days. Meanwhile, I was fucking dying inside. Physically, I don't know how close I was to death, but I was absolutely spiritually flatlined. I was emotionally, there's no word for it, dead inside. I was so numb from everything that I was putting in myself. And in my eyes, I had nothing to live for. I had caught some felonies, and I was running around with this crazy Mexican chick. We have those, everybody's got one of those Mexican, Tom, fucker. Tom's got a plethora of those. Anyways, not her fault. It was definitely my fault. But I got pulled in on a no bail warrant one more time. And I got my day in court, and the judge says, hey, your PO wrote your recommendation, and she wants to send you to rehab. See, during my no bail hold, there was about 2 or 3 weeks before I got to see the judge. And they said, I called my PO. There's 2 things a probation officer doesn't do. Number 1, answer their phone, and number 2, accept a collect phone call. But this time, they did both. And I asked for help. I really didn't mean to say the words. It wasn't like a plan. I called her, and I'm just trying to find a way to get out of this, right? Just trying to get fucking out of it. I said, I'm not a criminal. I'm a fucking addict, and I want help. And she said, are you sure? And I said, yeah, I want to go to Salvation Army in Pasadena and blah, 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 blah. And really, it was just to get out of it. It was just to get the fucking heat off. And 2 weeks later, I got a ride to Pasadena. August 16th, 2006. I committed myself to Salvation Army. I didn't leave for 7 months. And while I was there, I met guys like Chuck. And I liked his shirt because it had said Dirtbag on it. I said, hey Chuck, can I get one of them Dirtbag shirts? He goes, yeah, it's say next week. But he's bullshitting me. But I was okay with that because, him and Monty and man, there was a bunch of guys going. Ron and a bunch of guys. Yeah. I'm sure there's plenty now, but back then, 2006, those were the guys. Fucking Monty still was old then, too. And these guys would come in. Fucking 15 years ago. Hey, it's the truth, homie. It's okay. We'll get there. So these guys would come in and they would, they were giving us the AA rundown, and I'd be like, wow, what the fuck are you talking about? I didn't understand a fucking word they were saying. But I knew that there was something that they were sharing. And I knew there was something there because I could feel it. I wasn't on shit no more. I could feel It was a little overwhelming because I was dealing with all my emotions, but I could fucking feel them. I could feel it when they showed up. They were being real. And I thought they were, paid fucking counselors or something. No, they were there. I was like, wait, you guys just come here for free? What the fuck? Fucking. So anyways, I got a lot from that, and I said, there's something to this thing, and I can't let it go. And something happened to me on the way to go getting a pack of cigarettes one day. I'm walking down the street, and there's this other street kid, and I knew he was living on the streets, and I still had that chip on my shoulder attitude, and we kind of crossed paths, and he was looking at me, and I was looking at him, and we tried to square up. You got to have that attitude on the street sometimes. We kind of squared up at each other, and I was, what's up, dude? What the fuck's up? What's up then? And we got in each other's face, and I could just smell fucking alcohol. And looking back, this was the moment that it happened. My best thinking was, I'm going to beat the shit out of this fucking guy, and then I'm going to go back to Salvation Army and have a good night. But I didn't. Something struck me. And I said, hey, brother, what the fuck are we doing, man? You want to fucking sit down and share this monster and this pack of cigarettes I got? And we sat there for like an hour, and we chit-chatted, and we bullshitted, and he was just another alcoholic, man. But up until then, I wasn't part of the program. I was just there to get the heat off, remember? Something happened. About 3 months into there, all those devotions that I was going to, and 75 times a week I was going to church, something finally clicked. Something finally clicked. Something finally clicked. And that Sunday I got on my knees in front of the altar, and I cried like a fucking little boy. I cried like a baby, and I asked for help. And it was from then on, I wanted this thing. And it wasn't something that I wanted. It was almost like it was a gift that was given to me. Here, Tim, you want this now. Here you go. And I started latching on, and I started listening, and I was seeing people with different eyes, and I was hearing with different ears. And I could hear the sincerity and the stories that you guys were talking about, and I could relate. See, before I had fucking all my high walls up, and all my filters were fully engaged. And I couldn't hear a fucking word you were saying. But now I understood when Chuck would come in and talk about it. And I understood when fucking Monty would come in. And then I chased him around. I would go to the San Marino men's Stag. Not taking a trip. Not taking a trip. And Mo gave me his 23-year chip. Guys, I know why I'm sitting here today. Because I made a fucking deal with God. God was going to save me from the life that I was living and the brain that I had turned into a fucking pickle. Turned into that warped piece of wood that's never going to be unwarped again. I was going to have to go out there and work for it. I was going to have to go out there and do the steps. And not just go to meetings. And not just bullshit after the meeting. I was explaining that the meetings is not the program. Meetings is what we do to learn the program and to get with fucking newcomers. The program is in the steps. Period. And I started working the steps. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But I fucking got through it. And my life got better. And there was something that my grand sponsor at the time had told me, and this absolutely changed my life. From then until this day, it's been the number one most impacting thing in my life. He said, Tim, I want you to go find somebody tomorrow. So go find somebody to be of service. You can't take anything in payment. And you can't fucking tell anybody. And you don't get to choose what it is. It sounds like a tall order. And it is. But that exercise changed my life forever. Everything good that I got out of the program is a direct result of helping somebody else. Everything. And on those nights, on those days when I'm up at 3:30 in the morning, I don't get home till 6:30 at night, and I go home and I get to hug my kids that I was gifted. Absolutely gifted. And all the day's worries wash away. And I go help that person or whatever it is. I can't tell you. But I've helped somebody on the way home, and maybe that's why I was late. I get to hug and kiss my kids, and I heat up my cold dinner in the microwave, and I'm fucking dog-ass tired. I sit in that shower and I wash the day away and I go to sleep pure. It's like I've washed everything away. And every time I did that, I got a little cleaner and a little cleaner and a little cleaner. And my life is fucking fantastic. Somebody asked me the other day, I hear it all the time, how's your life? I'm okay. I am far from fucking okay. I'm doing absolutely fucking fantastic. My job is great. My family's fantastic. We're going to the river tomorrow for like 7 days. And I won't be drunk. And I won't be stealing anybody. And I won't have any stolen credit cards on me this time. And what I want to tell you is, you know, it doesn't have to be hard. But it might get hard. The only thing I can tell you is that it will be worth it. I came from absolutely fucking nothing. I lived in a bush. When I got to Salvation Army, I had a dirty slingshot and a fucking used Ralph's bag and like a toothbrush. Remember, it gets all frayed out and shit? That was my stuff. Okay? I got more shit now. I don't need a fucking storage or like a garage sale every day for the next year. But it's just shit. If I could show you my heart, if there was my heart is full to the rim with love and friends. My soul is pure. I used to walk around thinking that I didn't have a soul. I fucking earned this seat. If you think it's easy to get 15 years, give it a shot. If you think it's easy to get 24 years, I challenge you to give it a shot. But the mechanics of it don't change. It's the same fucking thing I did in 2 years, in 5 years, in 10 years that have got me sober and where I am today. I have earned my seat, and I know what my purpose is here. My purpose here is to be a good man, be a good father, do what the fuck I say, and be a fucking honest guy. I fail a lot. But I get up the next day and I give it another shot. Give it another shot. I want to welcome anybody who's new. I want to congratulate anybody who took a chip. And I sincerely want to thank each and every one of you for being here and listening to me. And I got 15 fucking years sober.
Yeah, baby.
Woo.
Yeah.
That's it. Thank you.